The Volkswagen Transporter quickly became a firm favourite in the van segment, simply because it drove more like a car than a van. For this new generation of Transporter, Volkswagen has partnered up with Ford, which is why you'll find many of this van's features and fittings underneath being shared with the new Transit. And it's also available with both combustion engine and electric powertrains, just like this one. But is this the right van for you? Well, in this video, we're going to be finding out what this electric Transporter has to offer and if you should be choosing it as your next new van. As far as vans go, the interior of the new Transporter is pretty high tech. We've got this big widescreen setup in the middle, and it's got all the features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's actually not an awful lot of physical buttons in here though. You've got some smaller ones for putting on your windscreen defrost, for instance, and parking brake, but aside from that, everything else is in the screen. And just as I would criticise a VW car for that, it's the same in the Transporter. But there is plenty of space in here, nice pockets down the side, and I really like the design of this cup holder in the middle, which folds away really neatly and then actually has a decent amount of space to it as well. There is a wireless charging point for your phone too, though it's a little bit shallow. And so I've noticed that when you accelerate, which is quite easy to do in this car, sometimes your phone can shoot out of that little slot. So it'd be good if that was just a little bit deeper. But you do also get a handy fold down table so you can work wherever you go, obviously when you have stopped. The build quality is as you'd expect from Volkswagen, and while there are lots of harsher plastics here and there, it is a van at the end of the day, and you do want areas like this to be nice and easy to clean, as well as less susceptible to grazes and scrapes than if it were fitted with a more premium material.
This particular Volkswagen e-Transporter has a single electric motor which should deliver around 200 miles of range, though in reality it's going to be a little bit less than that, though it does have a top whack speed of 70 miles an hour. And because you can charge at up to 125 kilowatts, you should be able to do a 10 to 80% charge in around about 40 minutes if you find a suitably rapid charger. Now, in terms of regular van-based dimensions, it does have a 2,300 kilogram braked trailer weight and a wheelbase of 3,100 millimeters. Now, that also means that it has a load volume of 5.8 meters cubed and a total payload of just over 1,000 kilograms.
So this electric Transporter off the bat brings a range of 200 miles. Now, I think that might be a little bit on the high side because I've got 72% of range right now and I've got 114 miles. So I don't think 200 miles is realistic. 150, perhaps 160, I think that'll be about right. But you have to say that these vans are angled towards more urban driving, shorter trips, and in that sense, 150, 160 miles is going to be pretty good. A top whack charging rate of 125 kilowatts is pretty decent too, and that means that you should be able to do a 10 to 80% charge in around about 40 minutes. So you shouldn't have to wait around at the chargers for too long. What is it actually like to drive? Well, I actually like the nice lofty seating position that you get from the Transporter, and much like its predecessor, it does feel relatively car-like to drive. Of course, you are sitting quite high, but given that most people are driving SUVs and crossovers these days, it doesn't feel alien. And the steering is nice and light, but it feels reasonably well connected to the front wheels, so I've always got a good sense of what's going on. One thing I will say that I really like about the Transporter is the nice big wing mirrors. There's plenty of visibility right down the side, and I've actually got an angled mirror lower down, which means that I can see more of the bottom of the van, and it's really useful when you are parking and positioning. Even though you've got sensors and parking cameras, it's really useful just having some bigger mirrors. Visibility is good, and these forward pillars aren't too thick, and I've got a nice wide screen view of the road ahead. Overall, in electric, guys, this Transporter is actually very simple and easy to drive, and I like the immediate burst of acceleration that you get from the electric motors. Now, you should be able to do 0 to 60 miles an hour in just over 8 seconds, which is pretty respectable for a van of this size. Obviously, taking into account when it's fully loaded, it's going to be slightly lower. But I do think that if you're used to driving a petrol or diesel van and you jump into this, you're going to notice that change in acceleration quite immediately. This latest Transporter feels like a fitting follow-up to its very popular predecessor. Now, this electric model isn't going to be for those high mileage drivers. It's going to be for people who are more often driving around town and need an easy and very eco-friendly way of getting from A to B and getting quite a lot of kit from A to B as well. The good news is that it can accept a rapid charge, so you're not going to need to be at the chargers for all that long. And of course, there are combustion engine versions to go alongside this electric one. So if you still like the Transporter package but don't want an EV, then there are still plenty of options for you. And the good news is, if you do want a Transporter but you'd rather look into the used market, there are so many to choose from on Cazoo today, so you can find the right van for you first time. I'd say it's well worth checking out the Transporter in person and finding out which one works best for you. Essentially, there's a Transporter out there for everyone. You just need to pick the right size and the right powertrain. Thank you for watching this review of the Volkswagen Transporter for Cazoo. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, leave us a like below and maybe let us know in the comment section which one you would pick. Do you think the EV is for you, or would you rather a combustion engine version instead? And since you're here, please subscribe to the Cazoo YouTube channel, and when you do so, you get a notification each time we upload a new video.